Welcome. We are in our fourth week of 12 Weeks of Fall. My name is Barb. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Michigan, and I would love to have you subscribe and also click the bell so that you will get notifications when I upload new videos. I chose to do the Nuts About Squirrels because it's super cute, and we've got squirrels everywhere. You know, there's squirrels everywhere in the fall, gathering those nuts and getting ready for the long winter months, and I just thought we have to do a squirrel card, right? So let me grab the pieces we need and we'll get started. We are going to use basically Sahara sand and some super cute designer paper that is now free with every $50 purchase. We have our celebration going on right now. Christmas on one side, and look, there's trees on this one. There's a lot of good paper in this. I've used a lot of it, but the Peaceful Prince is the name, and it does go with our deer bundle, Peaceful Deer Bundle. But look at, there's all kinds of fun designer paper in here. You can see I've used some of it, and of course our paper is always double-sided, which means it's pretty awesome. But that is one of the free choices with a $50 purchase of product. We're going to use the trees because, of course, we're talking about squirrels today. All right, so let's go ahead and measure our pieces so that you can reproduce this card if you like. This is going to be a special fold, and the first piece we need is 4 by 5 1/4. That's the designer paper. Now I have chosen to also use designer paper as my strip that needs to go along the bottom. We're going to be building a waterfall card. So this piece is 3/4 of an inch by 4 to match up with this. And basically I just cut this as one whole piece here. I think I have it the wrong way. There we go. I cut it as one whole piece, and then I cut this at 5 1/4, and this was my piece that was left. So there you go. 3/4 by 4. We need that. And then the other thing you need is a piece that is 2 inches by 9 inches. And then I used one of our topper punches. Oh golly, I didn't. The name is escaping me right now, but it is in our annual catalog. But I took that and I punched the longest piece from scoring. And what I mean by that is you've got a 2 inch by 9 inch, and you have to do scoring. And so the way that you score this is you're going to go at 2 inches and 2 3/4, and then 3 1/2, and then 4 1/4. Then that leaves you this long piece. You can see the score lines if I bring it up there. See that? And this long piece is the one that you're going to do the punch on the topper. If you don't have a topper punch, that's fine. Just make yourself some kind of hole, because we will need to tie a little ribbon on here so people realize they need to pull this in order to see the full effect of the card. Next, we need 4 pieces of coordinating color that's going to be with the project that you're doing, whatever color coordinates. This is Sahara sand that coordinates with the backing and with the designer paper. You need 4 2 by 2 squares, and then you're going to need 4 1 3/4 inch squares. Now you can go the 1/8, which would be, let's see, my handy dandy ruler that tells me all of that, 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. That's what I cut, so I have more stamping space on my square. That's what I wanted. Okay, so what are we going to do first? The first thing we're going to do, simply put this piece down. Done and out of the way. Okay, so just take some Stampin' Seal and take your designer paper. Now this also looks really cute with solid paper behind, cardstock. I've seen it done with embossing folders, all kinds of cool things. All right, so there's that. Now this piece can go on next, but there's a trick about this. You want to make sure that when you put adhesive here, you want strong adhesive, so I'm going to use tear tape. You're only going to put it on the ends. You don't want anything in the middle because we need this long strip to slide up and down. So, tear tape, where are you? Right here in my handy dandy basket. There we go. And again, you just need a piece that's going to go right here on this end, and actually this is too big, and so tear tape, you can just tear it and it goes perfect. Now if you go over the edge a little bit, the fun part about this is you can flip this over once we tear this piece off. So let me just get another piece on the end, and I'll tell you what I'm show you what I'm talking about. Not tell you, I'll tell you and tell. Oh gosh, I will tell you and show you. If I can talk tonight. Okay, there we go. So, what are we doing next? We are going to take these pieces off and show you what I was talking about. This is where my take your pick tool comes in handy, because you want this, okay, you take this and you just burnish it down good. Make sure that it's really on there. And if you take your pick tool, which is one of my favorite tools in the world for crafting, it will help you get that off. If you have long fingernails, that works perfect too. So whatever works. Now here's what I was talking about. See how I've got tape on the end? The fun part in this is you just fold it right over, and you don't have to worry about it being over the edge. That's all. That's what I was trying to say. I thought I would show you, and it would make much more sense. All right, so let's get this piece off and see if we've got, yep, we've got a little extra on the edge there, but just turn it over. Now, this needs to come up about, I don't know, it's going to have to come up about, golly, what is that, about an inch from the bottom? Maybe a little higher. Let's go up about 1.5 inches, right about there, okay? And whoops, I almost did it the wrong way. I want it to match my trees so that it looks like a continuous kind of tree. It's off just a sliver, but it'll be okay. And that's because I came up probably a little high. Okay, there we go. That's a little better, but it is still off a sliver. All right, there we go. That's down good. And again, see this? We've got some space in here. We got to have that space. All right. So now that we've got that put together, I'm going to go ahead and put it to the side because we're done with that for the moment. Let's do our stamping. And I am going to bring in a scrap piece of paper and my mat, because anytime we're going to be using the polymer stamps, and anytime you use the polymer stamps, you definitely want to use a mat, because of there's no, on the red rubber you've got some sponge in between. On these polymer stamps you don't. So let me, oh goodness, I just dropped my stamp in the floor. 1 second, because we will need that. There we go. All right, so let's get this here and stamp our little squirrels. Let me make sure I'm up here where you guys can see in the camera. I am going to stamp the squirrels in Sahara, the one squirrel in cinnamon cider, not Sahara sand. Okay, and we're going to do the outline first. And so, of course, this squirrel is not going to fit on this full square. I did cut a couple extra squares just in case the squirrel does not line up the way that I want it to. All right, got that inked up. We're going to move the ink pad over out of the way for a second. And how do I want the squirrel? I think I want him to kind of be peeking out the corner here. So let's do that. Okay. And then let's take our other piece and ink it up. And it is a solid piece. I'm just inking it up over here off the side on my ink pad. All right. And then how do you line this up? You line this up so that the tail is to the edge, is right to the edge here. So I'm going to hopefully not get my head in the way, but I've got to see where I'm going here and line this little squirrel up. I did not do very well the last time I tried stamping him, but I think we're going to get it this time. And if we're off a little bit, guess what? It's a hand stamped card. Okay, he looks pretty good, right? Okay. Now we can take blends and color in the nut, or I have a stamp set here, and actually we're going to need a couple more of these. So there is a little piece that is the nut and the acorn, I guess you would say, and this piece, the inside piece of that. So first I am going to, let's do this one, let's do the, I don't know, what color are they? Let's go with a different color for that. Let's go with some soft suede. And I'm just going to see what that looks like. I'm going to ink this up, stamp it solid. It's a little dark. I'm going to stamp it again. It's a little lighter. So let's do this. We're going to stamp the top of the acorn in solid. And that is pretty dark, but that's okay. And then I'm going to, goodness. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and put the other part of the acorn on the bottom. I am going to stamp that off. And I think, I'm looking at how does it go, like this? Yeah, okay. Turns around this way, and this little guy comes right in there. I think that's how it works. It's not too bad. Two-step stamping, there you go. Now you could also, like I said, you could take your blends. I'm going to ink this up again. I'm going to ink it off, or stamp it off, and I am just going to try to ink this up a little better. There we go. Okay, it's okay. So that's all we're going to do for the squirrel. So the next thing we're going to do is on the next one, we are going to, I forgot to pull out the other things that I need, which is, we definitely need the leaves, and we also need grabbed a couple blocks here, we need the stem that goes in the leaves, okay, those two pieces, and let's go ahead and get this branch here that we can also stamp. So we're going to take those pieces. All right, I think that's all we need for now. I'm going to go ahead and clean off this stamp acorn, and using my fabulous chamois here, put this to the side, and let's clean this squirrel so that I don't make a mess when I put my arms across everywhere, right? Okay, there we are. Okay, we have 3 more blocks to stamp. So what are we going to stamp on there? Let's go ahead and let's take the Sahara sand, which coordinates with what we've got going on with the rest of the papers and such, and let's ink that up, the branch, and let's go here. Oh, that looks pretty good. And let's, how about if we just come up that way, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp another one on the opposite side of this paper. Okay, that's it for the Sahara for the moment. And next, let's do some leaves. Now I have used the Stampin' Spots in other videos, but these are the colors that I like for the leaves. I also think that we need a green, and I will grab, what color green should we use? How about Old Olive? It's kind of a bright, green just to add something in there. All right, so we're going to do a couple of these. Let me move these over out of the way. So, let's see, I need number 4, so that's going to be something different. Okay, got it. All right, next, let's go ahead and do the leaves, and we're going to use all 3 of our Stampin' Spots. Sorry, I got out of the way here, out of the camera. So I'm going to start out with the crushed curry. Because this is a small stamp, I can go right into the spot. And I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Let's come over here and do one here. Let's do a yellow one. Let's see, maybe like that. We want it to look kind of fallish, right? And so we're going to do some multicolors. All right, so once we do that, we need to actually clean in between because I'm going to use the same stamp on all these different colors. And next, let's go with the Cajun Curries. Don't you love how Stampin' Up! Has all of the names of the inks? They're 2 words, and they're all the same letter. So Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Old Olive, you know, kind of fun stuff. Okay, that one's pretty dark. I'm going to stamp this one off, and let's see what color that comes out. That's pretty good. Gives it a variation. So let's go ahead and I'm going to stamp off, and let's do one here. And then let's go ahead and do the Calypso Coral, and let me clean that off. All right, Calypso Coral. That's pretty bright. What's the second generation there? Okay, well, let's go ahead. We are going to ink up, and let's do another leaf right there. A little bit darker, so that's okay. But we're going to do one green one over there and one green one here. So I think that's it. I don't really need all those different colors, do I? All right. So let's move those here. We're done with those. And clean this one off so that we can do green. All right. Let's go some Old Olive and get us some green. Yeah, this is good. We are going to go ahead and do a green right there. Woo, that's a dark one, but that's okay. And let's do a variation of that green, and let's do one right over here. And this looking kind of fallish. I think it looks good. All right, let's do, there we go. We want to have the kind of fall leaves going on. I thought about stamping the leaves on the designer paper, but I didn't do a prototype. Like I said, a lot of times I have these ideas and then I just kind of go for it, you know? All right, so we need one more. Oh, and guess what? We need to add our stems. And so I'm going to come back with this Sahara Sand. I don't know if it's going to show up in every one, but we're going to try. Okay, so Sahara Sand, and let's see, that looks good. And we're just going to hope that it'll show up a little bit, giving us the veins of the leaves in each one. I'll bring it up closer to the camera so you can see, but it's working. It looks good. See? Isn't that great? Super easy, fun, 2-step stamping. That's what this is called when you have to use 2 stamps to really make the image pop or complete the image. Stampin' Up! Even has some 3-step Stampin' sets in the annual catalog. I'm not sure if there's any in that current mini catalog or not. Alright, you know, while I have this out, I actually think I am going to stamp a stem on underneath this little guy here, because after all, what is he, you know, he's got to be standing on something. There we go. So he's kind of on a stick that's in the tree. And why not, let's do a green leaf on that one, just because we can, right? I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think that's it. There's a lot on that little square. I don't want to get overboard. Okay, the last thing is we need to put the little stem in this leaf, just like that. Give me a comment if you love two-step stamping. Tell me what your favorite kind of stamps are that Stampin' Up! Has. If they have, you know, there's two-step, there's distinctive, there's outline stamp, there's solid stamps, all different ones in the catalog. All right, so we've got one little squirrel. We have this one with a tree. We have a full piece. That's what I want. I think the next thing I want to do is I actually, on the last one, should we do another squirrel? We have this other squirrel here, and all these fun sayings. So let's try. I think what we'll do is, we're going to go ahead and take this last one, and we are going to put nuts about you. And I was hoping that there would be one that I could stamp like a nut on here, but the nut is, the pieces for the nut, it doesn't work quite right with stamping it. It's got the little piece for his hand in there. So I am going to go ahead and use the Cajun Craze. Nope. This is cinnamon cider, I think. Yes, cinnamon cider. And we are going to, let's do this. I'm going to put some nuts about you here. And then I am going to stamp another squirrel. And I'm going to do him a little bit different. I am going to stamp full strength in the Sahara Sand outline, and I'm just going to do his face just like that. And I don't know, let's see, should we try? Let's go ahead and try. We're going to try. We're going to see if we can line this up. And that was full strength. So let me stamp off. And then let's see if I can make this work. All right, where are your hands? And there's your face. And that's your little... It's so funny to look at this and try to get it just right and not get my head stuck in that. There we go. Hey, look at that. It worked. It worked pretty darn good. All right, we're just going to leave it like that. The next thing we're going to do is finish assembling our card. Let's go ahead, and these pieces are going to go onto our squares. And let me find, here's my adhesive. Don't you love that when you're stamping, everything just gets kind of, it becomes a mess everywhere on your desk, right? We're going to put this little guy right here. And again, this is just 1/8 of an inch around. And this is 4 pieces. And let's do that. I like these little colors together. They really look like fall. You know, you could do all tone on tone and just come up, whoops, that one's a little bit too far on one side. Check it out before you push it all the way down, right? Okay, let's get this here, here, and here. There we go. And last but not least, our fun little squirrely face here that's looks a little mischievous. And let's place that little guy right here. Come on now. There we go. All right. We are about ready to put this together and see the magic happen. I feel like this needs something else, don't you? What about maybe a couple more leaves, falling leaves? Let's do that. How about if we go back to the green and do a couple colors of the green? All right, so we're going to take the green and we are going to, well, you know what though? If it's green, it's not going to fall off the tree, right? That doesn't make sense, Barb. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's do the Calypso coral. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. I guess I'm more of a realistic kind of person. All right, so we've got a leaf going here, and let's see, we're going to come a little bit off there. Whoops. Just like that. Yes, that's what it needed. All right, Sahara sand was our little vein. And let's see here, let's stamp there. And go ahead and stamp one here. All right, we're almost ready for the magic. Okay, got them all done. So this is where it's important to know how to assemble this card. So what you need to do is, this piece is going to go here. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and make sure that this is scored well. I did not previously do that. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way since we're not stamping anymore. We're going to fold that. And you do want to fold each one of these and make sure that they are nice and crisp on the score line. Because when it does the waterfall effect, it allows it to go through very smoothly, that's what we need. All right, so the whole idea is this, is that you, this piece needs adhesive. So you want this so that it comes right here. And then when this is, let me see, don't want to do that. We're going to come down. Sorry, I'm getting out of the screen. I apologize. Getting all focused on my what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's what we want right there. Okay, and then this actually is going to come up. It might have come up a little bit too far, but we're going to put something in this right here so that they'll know to pull that. This piece has to go on here. So what we want to do is put adhesive right here. You don't want to put it on the whole square. I know that we are so used to doing that. And actually, I'm going to use the tear tape because this is going to be something that gets opened a lot, and you want to make sure that it's nice and secure. So let's go ahead and put that here. And I need one more little piece. I didn't cut it quite long enough. So because this is a fun fold, this definitely, this little video is a little bit longer than normal, but I think that when you make one of these, just take this video, follow the steps. You can always fast forward afterwards so that you can make this fun fold. All right, let's do this. I will have the measurements in the description so that you can go back and you can look at that and create your waterfall card. All right, I folded that up a little bit because it was overlapping. Okay, here we go. All right, like I said, this piece has to go right here in the middle, and you want it to be on your paper. And then this piece actually will go underneath. But before we do that, we have got to adhere all of our pieces. So the decision next is, which one do you want where? Do you want this one up here? Do you want this one? And then they're just going to go on top of each other, just like that. I think I'll do them in between. So let's see. So let's start at the bottom, and we're going to put Nuts About You on the bottom. Actually, I think I want that one second. That's going to go on the front. Okay, this is the hardest part, you guys. And here's what's important too. You do not want to put adhesive on the whole thing. You only want it at the top. And that's going to go right underneath your score line on your square. Just like that. Okay. And then your next one is going to go right here. So I'm just going to take the adhesive and put it right under my score line, just like that. Okay. And then the next piece, we are going to do this one. Suspense on the final product will be awesome. Let's see. We're going to put our adhesive right here again. I need to keep doing this here under the score line. That's what's important. You got to have it under the score line. And let's do our leaves. This one next, right here, under the score. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's what's happening. And then, last but not least, right here, whoops, hold it in place, Barbara. There we go. You ever talk to yourself when you're stamping? I do all the time. All right, this is going to go right at the very top. Okay, right at the top of that score. All right, there's that. Now, we need something to pull, and I am going to grab some linen thread here, right here, our linen thread, and I actually think I'm going to double it up, do a double piece, and let's do this. You know, I've got ribbon thread or scissors and paper scissors, so those were definitely my ribbon scissors. So let's get a hold of this. This needs to come through here. I'm actually going to tie this in a kind of a little bow here. Well, no, that's not what I want to do. You know how to do this fun thing where you put it in the hole and then you loop it through. Let me get it up here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this loop, put it through here, open up the loop, and take these pieces and pull them through, and there you go. Okay, there's that. So now that you have this done, just like this, we're in the tree, right? And I'm not, actually, I did need to do some more stamping. But see how that pops up? That's why you want to score, make sure that's scored very well so that they lay flat. But watch the magic. Da-da, da-da, da-da. And then here, I am going to take that stamp once again, and there is a happy birthday in here. I just think this might be a fun birthday card for a guy, you know. Stick that here. Let me grab a stamp that I can stamp this with. And let's go with the Cajun, or the cinnamon cider. I keep wanting to call it Cajun Craze. Okay, let me just show you. See, I don't know, can you tell that that is curved? So the way that you get that to not curve is you lay your stamp down on your desk or wherever, and then you go and pick it up, just like that. And then you have a straight stamp. It would have surely been curved had I left it like that. All right, so happy birthday can go here. And of course, I can put more leaves in there or whatever to finish that off. So here we go. This is their birthday card. It looks like the squirrels are in the trees. See that? And then anytime you see ribbon, it looks like you need to pull it. So that's what we're doing. We are going to pull this down, and there you go. Happy birthday. So that is a waterfall card. A little bit, takes a little bit of time, but hopefully it was good, and you got some little instructions kind of step by step there. I think you have to realize the most important thing is only putting adhesive here and making sure you only put adhesive right under the score lines as you add your little squares onto the card. But this, you just have the solid base. Now, if you wanted to make it a card where you could open this part too, you could do that. But the whole idea is this wonderful fun fold. People will just all day long, back and forth, right? There you go. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Again, follow me on Facebook at Stamp with Barb Ryder, and watch me live every Thursday at 7 o'clock, which will have completely different projects than what you see here in the videos. Have a great time this stamping and enjoying your fall items. Bye-bye.